Failing to plan is planning to fail. What is the demand? Are people really interested in renting properties in that area? And how much are they willing to pay you in the first place? Have you ever wondered how to analyze or evaluate a property deal? Look, in order for you to be a very successful property investor, you need to understand how to evaluate and analyze every property deal or any property deals that come your way in order to ensure that it is a sustainable, rewarding investment that will last you for generations to come. So in this video, I'm going to share with you how to evaluate a property investment deal. Let's get to it. Now, the number one thing you need to look before you start actually looking for properties, or if you saw a property deal, you need to kind of understand the location, where that property is, how is the neighborhood like, the proximity from that property to the train station, bus stop, school, and things like that, because it's very important for you to understand that. And most importantly, what is the crime rate in that area? Is it a high crime rate area, right? Is it a safer area? And looking at the location, is there any prospect of development happening in that sort of location? Is it an attractive location? Is it a place where people would like to live in? And the second thing you could look for is market trend. What's the market trend in your investment area? Including property value, property rental, and vacancies. How long will it take you to actually rent that property house once you've bought it? What is the demand? Are people really interested in renting properties in that area? And how much are they willing to pay you in the first place? And most importantly, evaluate the historic capital appreciation. By how many percent property prices have gone up in that specific area? Is it 2%? Is it 3%? Is it 5%? Is it 10%? Is it 15%? So you need to understand that in order to be able to buy a property in that investment area, because then you would understand whether this sort of investment is really suitable for your investment needs. The third thing you could look for when you're evaluating a property deal is the property condition. What is the condition of that property, right? Do you have to do renovation works in that property? Has the property got a damp issue? Do you have to change the roof? Is it a done-up property? Is there any plumbing works to be done? And what would be the overall maintenance issue with that property when you bought it? And also, how long is this property has been built? And what potential repairs and maintenance you need to do in order to be able to bring that property to a sellable or rentable condition? The fourth thing to consider is a financial consideration. Now, what do I mean by financial consideration? You need to understand what the return on your investment in that property. What's your ROI, in other words? You may be thinking, how do I analyze the ROI? The ROI is simple and very easy to understand. It's basically your net profit, your potential net profit you need to make in that property, times that by the number of months, which is 12 months, and you divide that amount by the initial investment you would have made to buy that property. I'm not talking about the 75% the bank would have put down. I'm talking about the actual money you've invested in order to buy that property. That then works out what your ROI is, and then that then tells you what the return is. And that return is usually in a percentage form. It tells you how many percent your money has worked really, really hard in order to be able to buy that property. And also what you need to consider when you're buying properties like this, what the estimated rental income is based on the marketing trend, or what's the forecasted rental is based on the market trend. And obviously consider the taxes, insurance, maintenance, right? And what way you are buying that property. Are you going to buy that property under your name, on the company name, or on an LLC, or you buying it as a family? So whatever that is, you need to consider that at that point before you actually instruct your solicitor. Number 5, this then take me to the finance options. How are you going to fund that deal? So what you could do basically, if it's a done-up property, what sort of mortgages are available for buy-to-let landlords, right? I would advise you here, it's just an advice basically, do not go there directly to a bank to look for a mortgage. Find a mortgage broker who would go out there that would check in the lender's panel to find out what mortgage or what lender is actually available there on a favorable interest rate for you. Also, evaluate whether you need an investment partner. Do you need a joint venture partnership in this deal? Do you have to bring a family member in that deal? Very important to understand what option that is. And obviously evaluate what the interest rates are, what are the term of the loan, how long will the bank lend you the money, and obviously at what rate are you able to acquire that property at, and what are the requirements for down payment in order for the bank to lend you the 75%. And also determine the impact of interest rate on your cash flow. This is a massive mistake lots of investors make. They literally analyze properties based on the current interest rate. Never ever do that. Forecast the interest rate as if you would increase, and then obviously factor that in your analysis just to kind of understand if you will still make profit if interest rate goes very, very, very high. The sixth thing you need to consider when evaluating a property deal is the future potential. Right, suppose you bought a property, maybe it's a semi-detached or a mid-terrace house. Are you able to actually extend that house in the future? Are you able to kind of build a loft conversion in that property? Are you able to add an extra bedroom in that property? Are you able to actually force the value of that property by maybe having an annex or maybe having an outer house at the back garden? The seventh aspect to consider also is the risk assessment. Well, every investment has a risk, bears a risk, but work out what are the risks of buying property in that specific area, but at that price and at that rental income, and understand that whether the risk worth taking for the return that you're making. Eighth thing to look for, professional advice. So very important in order to buy a property, to seek advice from professionals. This could be a mentor, someone who's actually helping you in your property investment journey. It could be having an advice from a mortgage broker, solicitors, so that you understand what are the processes and procedures required in order for you to buy a property. You could also have a relationship with tradespeople like a plumber, builder, electrician, carpenter. These sort of people, you want to build relationship with these people, so in order for them to be there for when you bought that property. And most importantly, what is your exit strategy? Are you going to hold that property after you bought it and renovated it, or after you've rented it, or are you going to sell it? So whatever your exit strategy, you need to plan that strategy before you even consider buying that property. Failing to plan is planning to fail. So know yourself, am I going to hold this property for a lifetime, or am I going to sell this property in 1 year down the line, 2 years, 3 years, or 4 years? You need to have that strategy in mind, or that exit strategy in mind, in order to buy any investment property, because that would help you position yourself well to even secure the property in the first place. Remember, investors makes money work for them instead of them working for money. If you like this video or any of my videos, smash the like button below, subscribe to my channel for more amazing videos. I look forward to sharing next video.